Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Please Get Help. This is our third ever episode. As usual, I have my good buddy Taz and my good buddy Tojic,
Hello.
and let's see what this night has in store for us. Uh, First off, thank you to the 41 people total that have watched the last few episodes. We got 19 views in like a single day on the second episode. That was awesome.
God
Right
damn.
now we're at 21 views for the first episode and 20 views for the second. So again, thank you guys. Let's get started. We have about 29 topics here. Do you guys have one you want to bring up yourselves or one you want picked out?
Um, well, there's definitely a few interesting ones we got here. We could go off of number one, the best way to do player/NPC relationships, or considering that it's been a bit of a hot topic, well, somewhat related to a hot topic recently, we could do 21, Call of Duty being bipolar about tanks.
That's gonna be me ranting a little bit about tanks, but that's a good one. Uh, Number one is might be able to get more out of all three of us.
Um,
Oh, I'm stupid. I thought that was a date stamp. Taz says three that he likes. Number 14 is Last Ditch Weapons. 20 is fucking Deer Ranch. And then 22 is Best Fallout 4 Companion.
I like those ones. Let's do those ones.
Alright. I think which one again out of the five you guys suggested? They're my
Bas
topics, so I don't really have weight in this vote, I don't think.
basically 1, 14, 20, 22, and 21. But for simplicity, I say we'll just do Taz's.
Alright. Yeah, yeah, I remember right. You chose first last time.
I did.
Uh,
Technically, I chose second as well, I think.
I rolled a die four, so I guess that means we're doing four. Is that four out of, like, out, as in four out of the five topics, or did you mean the right 14, but you forgot the one? Oh, so. Uh, Excuse me. Wait, you don't have a D20? And
No.
I'll fucking buy you some on Amazon after this. Uh, the fourth one out of all five of those is Call of Duty being bipolar about tanks. Is that a
Uh,
good one to do, or
um, I mean, if you want, you could read about it, and then we can go to 14.
and I don't want to railroad you guys. Yeah, Ring of Steel was pretty cool.
You're super
I'd have to
cool.
say Black Cats was cooler than Ring of Steel. That's my personal vote. Uh, Taz, are you alright with starting with topic 21? And then we can just do 22 right after that. Okay. Um, I guess to start off with, this is more about the World
I'm
War II Call of
snacking right
Duties.
now. I'm snacking right now.
What term? I
And
can't hear
I'm
you.
recording something, so might just be a minute.
Oh, you're talking to Gunner. Or some. Tell whoever that is I said hi.
Sorry about that.
Okay, it's no problem. So, like I was saying, this is more about the World War II Call of Duties. Specifically the old ones. Like World at War and before, but I remembered stuff in the World War II. So we'll talk there. Anyway, I'm gonna start off with I noticed something when I played Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty 3. In the opening mission, in the first mission of Call of Duty 3, you sit on a tank and you point out targets for the tank while you're storming a German town. And they're all regular 75 millimeter Shermans. Like your regular base model Sherman, right?
Right.
And these things one shot Panthers. At least I think they're Panthers. They might be fours or something. I think they had that like distinctive Panther turret where it's like Panther is a weird turret. Like you know it when you see it, right? It's almost like a trapezoid ass turret. Whereas a Tiger and a Panzer IV have very square turrets. Square roundish turrets. You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we should put pictures up in editing. So the 75 millimeter, dude, contrary to popular belief, is not a pansy shell. If you hit any German tank, especially from such close distance, in the right spot, it will kill it. So, but they did that, but in Call of Duty 2, I think the village name is Villers Brocage, where it's part of the British campaign, uh, post the D-Day landings, where they're trying to take the city of Caen. You do not need to know what that is, but it's safe to say I could I could say spoilers for 20-year-olds. I don't need to put a spoiler for a 20-year-old game that
Oh,
nobody
yeah,
cares
no, that
about, right?
game's like 10,000 years old at this point.
Yeah. They are worth playing through. Multiplayer is dead, basically, but the campaigns are fun and interesting. I'm just gonna ignore that, but all of a sudden, you're going through this village with the British force, and all of a sudden the tiger comes out. A tiger or panther again, I can't remember.
Right, some sort of tank.
And this thing takes about four 75 millimeter shells to the side of the turret, and it is unscathed. Granted, this might be because this was based on an actual confrontation with Hitler's poster boy, Michael Vittman, catching a bunch of British tankers with their fucking pants down. But it's like the side of a turret and four 75 millimeter shells. If the tank's not taken out, the crew the crew inside are heavily concussed or just plain dead.
Right.
Right? So like the concussive force of 4 big-ass shells to the side of your turret. A turret is not a big thing on a tank. You're cramped in there. It's like take like 4 trout and 3 or 4 trout and put them in a small saucepan. That's what a turret is like. So yeah, everybody in the turret should be dead. Or at least concussed or otherwise just out of action. And this thing
But
just proceeds to go on a tear and take out basically all the other British tanks in the mission, and so you just have to slog it through house to house fighting.
because of the power of storytelling.
True enough. And again, I'm pretty sure that's based on what actually happened, but there's a Laser Pig video on it. It is way more complicated than what I can imagine. But the real life story, uh, this guy, Michael Whitman, who was like poster boy of all poster boys for SS Panzer, rushes into this village and catches a convoy of British vehicles, again with their pants down, and then goes on a highly. What is the word I'm looking for? Blown out of proportion story. A blown out of proportion one man rampage.
Hmm.
And then when you go back to Call of Duty 3, you play in a Sherman Firefly, which has a much bigger gun. They took the. It's a funny. Like, you want to know how ridiculously overpowered the Sherman Firefly was? They took the they took the barrel out of an anti-tank chassis and did whatever they could to fit it in a Sherman turret. Uh, if we put it this way, the breech is like to the wrong, is like too long on one side and it won't fit. Turn it left 90 degrees. Okay, now there's no room with the radio in there. Cut a hole in the back of the turret, stick a box on the back, put the turret through the hole. Put the radio through the hole. So that's why Sherman Fireflies have the like big box on the back of the turret. And they look weird. That's the radio. They did whatever they could to put this fucking gun in the Sherman turret.
Hmm.
Anyway, in Call of Duty 3, you play as the crew of a Sherman Firefly as part of the Free Polish military. Because Polish joined Britain, whatever.
Right.
I think, yeah, this thing is supposed to take out heavier German armor with like one shot. During this mission, it takes like 3 shots at least to take out a bunch of them.
Right. So basically, like, which each of the games, the tanks have weirdly different health and like
Damage levels.
damage levels they could take.
Yeah. That is not even the worst of it. In Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1, which is a spin-off for Call of Duty 2 only for the PS2 and OG Xbox. The one take mission you play as, which is in like during the North Africa campaign, you play as a Stuart. And you somehow manage to take out Panzer IVs and a Tiger in a Stuart. Stuart by 1942 doesn't even count as a light tank anymore. It's basically a recon car.
But
How under armored. It had a 37mm gun. It's a pea shooter. Takes out takes out a Tiger and several Panzer IVs.
Damn.
And then but I think the most egregious is World at War. Do you remember Peleliu Airfield? Where you had to
Uh,
like pick up the bazooka?
yes.
Taz remembers that. Um, none of the Sherman tanks managed to take out the Japanese tanks, but they keep getting killed by the Japanese tanks. Uh, Small problem with that. Japanese tanks were so far behind and so light in armor and armament. Again, they might as well be recon cars, not actual tanks. It's like one YouTuber said, why are these Shermans so incapable of taking out these tiny Japanese tanks? A Stuart with a can-do attitude can take out a Japanese tank. And then it's up to us to shoot them with a bazooka, which is the wrong bazooka. It's a post-war super bazooka, which was like a much bigger shell or rocket than the ones actually used in World War II. And it takes like 2 or 3 shots again to kill them.
Well, to be fair, when has COD ever been accurate, fully accurate in a freaking World War setting?
I mean, yeah, but like this is the curse of like being a nerd about something. It's like if you have like meddling knowledge of a topic, you can be like, oh yeah, that's super cool. But if you like the more you get into something, it's like, why did you do this? It's like, what was the point of this?
Yeah.
I I don't even know why I put this in there. That was a rant, not even like a full enough discussable topic.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to talk about. We killed at least 17 minutes.
Yeah. Uh,
Basically,
do either of
COD.
you have remarks on that or questions?
Um,
Do it back!
but no, basically just uh, tanks have weird health values in the COD games, but also COD has never really been 100% accurate with everything, especially in the newer titles. But
Yeah, that's true enough. There's there's some like actually interesting moments in the old games. There's the final mission of 3. You have to defend a village from a full. The entire setting of Call of Duty 3 was one campaign called the Falaise Gap. It was in France, and it was in a. I'll read Taz's message real quick. Not necessarily on topic, but the Spider Tank mission in Advanced Warfare was swag. It was. That was that was fun.
I never played Advanced Warfare, so I cannot speak on that.
I have it. I can let you borrow it sometime. It's kind of a mid game. It's it's an interesting setting one now, but it's a bit mid.
Well, okay, I shouldn't say I haven't played it, because when it came out, I played um like the tiniest bit of multiplayer with my older brother, and I think in the zombies mode, but I never played the campaign. That's one,
I
but
haven't played the zombies.
it was very epic when it first came out. The zombies was swag too. That's about all my knowledge extends through that.
The the tanks were actually pretty cool because it was like you see one in the first mission, and first you think it's like a regular tank, and then when it gets to an obstacle, it unfolds these legs into like a Star Wars-esque walker, and then it goes over the obstacle.
Hmm.
But the one in the mission is a hover tank, which hover tanks are cool and also sci-fi.
Very sci-fi.
And can't forget, you get to throw Kevin Spacey out of a skywalk. I
Skyscraper.
talked too much about Star Wars. I said threw him out of a
Throw him out of the
skyscraper.
Skywalker.
Yeah. Uh, I know you defend one of like the EMP Humvee turret in the first mission.
Oh, I'm googling this tank right now.
I think I played it in like 22. Um, I need to excuse myself momentarily to use the facilities. I'll be right back, guys. You guys go
Alright.
ahead. Okay.
And we're back.
Hi, everybody.
Hello again.
I had to take the Browns to the Super Bowl anyway.
Also,
I think we're just gonna jump to the next topic,
yeah.
which is I think we're gonna discuss the best companion in Fallout 4. This was inspired by a YouTube channel that I've subscribed to called Gray Gaming. I think he's most famous as the guy with like the really ridiculous Starlight driving build. And he's like,
True.
I think I've talked about him in one of his videos where he suggested killing Mama Murphy, like right before she gives us a solid lead. And I said that wouldn't make this story of the game just already significantly better if you just talk to her. You get Dogmeat's name, and then she gets sniped out of nowhere. Anyway, he did a video. Didn't fully watch it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say I'm speaking for everybody here that we all agree Dogmeat is the best companion.
I'm sorry, the silence was too funny.
Right.
Well, okay. Yes, I would even count. I wouldn't even count Dogmeat as a companion.
I mean, technically, the game doesn't.
So,
He doesn't detract from the Lone Wanderer perk. Also, Great Gaming also didn't count him.
well, yeah, cause I'm gonna
Heresy.
agree and disagree with both of those. So, yes, Dogmeat is agreed upon best boy. He is the bestest boy. However, I'm also the type of person that thinks you should be able to have Dogmeat with another companion because
There is a mod for that.
there is a mod for that. I have that mod, and it's literally called Everyone's Best Pal but Dogmeat. And fun
Sir,
fact.
do you want to be a part of this podcast? Fucking dog is up in my face, yawning and breathing at me.
He knows you're talking about another dog right now. He's like, "What the heck, bro? Come on, man. I'm your Dogmeat, That sounds weird. Anyways, and fun fact, Dogmeat was actually supposed to be able to join you no matter what, originally in Fallout 4. Like how he could do, because they were supposed to do what you could do in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, where you can have one follower and then one pet follower. But then they just didn't do it for some reason. I don't know why they decided to cut it last second, but yes. So I do agree, Dogmeat is a pretty good companion, but we probably want to discuss the actual companions, especially if we're talking about 4 that you can grow like and dislike relationships with. Did Bro get kidnapped? What happened? Where'd he go? Oh god. Oh, did I just hear him faintly? Why your mic's so quiet?
Fucking with it like all day. And can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you nice and clear now.
Okay. First it was the fucking Bluetooth thing, and now this. As I was saying, Dogmeat, I can't remember what all I said, but I said cutest and least annoying companion.
True. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. Sorry, when you said least annoying, instantly what popped up in my head is all the times he stood in the doorway.
Yeah.
But
that is nothing compared to the other first companion you come across. Senor, another settlement needs your help, bitch baby. I mean Preston. Okay, maybe bitch baby is a little too strong, but that's... But you get my meaning, right?
yeah, well, yeah, I get your meaning, although, but that's a different conversation. Where the topic's asking what would you say is the best companion out of all of them, excluding Dogmeat, since everyone knows he's best boy.
I will say I've only really played with Curie and Ada. So I probably don't have as much knowledge on that as you guys do. Hey, Curie Squad, let's go.
Curie was my pick. Well, I will fully admit, when I first got Fallout 4, I instantly simped for Kate. Real.
I don't know about to say you still are.
Well, I wouldn't say I do now. But I would say Ada would be my pick, but I also feel like Ada would fall under the same realm as Dogmeat, because Ada doesn't really care what you do in the Commonwealth. And as much as I really like Ada, because through I really like her through Automatron. Why is that DLC so weird to pronounce? Automatron DLC. But the problem I have with it is once you complete the DLC, she's just kind of like bland. Like she doesn't have any other never bought any of the DLCs. I have no idea what ours is talking about. Well, Baz,
Four's been out for like 10 years at this point. Should we just
Oh
about
yeah, but
Atomic
also
Heart?
I gotta say you're missing out because those DLCs are actually very swag. But the Automatron
You probably
DLC
get
allows you
the
to build.
season pass on sale.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Automatron DLC lets you build your own robots and make them your follower. And the main DLC quest, you find
Somebody you might recognize from Fallout 3 shows up, reappears, but not in the same way. And I guess saying it has to do with robots, you probably already know. I'm saying that because you've told me you're a bigger fan of Fallout 3, Mr. Taz.
oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, there, yeah. Yes, an old unlikely antagonist shows back up. But basically what I was trying to say is, you get one named robot companion who helps you through the DLC. Her name's Ada. She's pretty much an Assaultron, but the whole gimmick with Automatron is you can mix and match robot parts. So she has like Protectron legs and then like a Sentry Bot arm. So kind of cursed, but like.
Can I talk for a bit?
Sure.
Taz, do you remember? Did you ever watch like the early Mike Burnfire episodes, like the Fallout 4, like the first 50 or so? Do you remember the robots with the giant tits? That's Automatron. The giant tits aren't in Automatron itself, but if you get the proper mods, that's what Automatron, the new settlement thing from Automatron, the robot workbench, allows you to do. You can customize existing robots like Curie, Cosworth, and the new one, Ada, and also create new ones. I think at one point I had a mod that had that's what, a $5 DLC?
Automatron separately. Whoa, Jesus. Hold on, I can actually look it up right now.
Again, the season pass goes on sale regularly, at least on Xbox. On Steam, I got it when it was like the Game of the Year edition for like $5 on PC.
Excuse me.
Let's Automatron.
Here we go. It is literally $10.
I would wait for sale. It is not a $10 DLC. It's a good DLC, but it's not $10. Bernie, have you ever heard of this thing called personal space? I think I might just have to let him out because he does this when he's like, I gotta go potty, let me out, asshole. Alright. I'm gonna set the computer down and be AFK for a while. You got me. I'm getting up. Jesus. Don't squash the cat.
Dog moment. So yeah. Basically pretty swag DLC. I'm actually surprised you haven't played any of the DLCs, Baz. I'm barely playing Fallout 4, to be honest. I don't know. Definitely very cool DLCs. I don't know. My whole point of that rant was, I don't know basically Ada. I feel like we can't count Ada just because it's the same thing as dog meat. She doesn't really care what you do. And unfortunately, at the end of the day,
It
I'll
does
say
have actual dialogue in a quest, though.
that is true. But as I was also saying, once you complete that quest, she's pretty much just like the generic robot you can make. Like, she literally uses the same lines as the default, like, female robot voice.
That's entirely true. And I didn't watch much of the Gray Gaming video, but I remember if I do not blame you. Tess says I've barely played Fallout 4, to be honest. I think the only reason the two of us have played any amount of Fallout 4 is Tojik, you're a completionist. You have 100%ed Fallout 4.
I have come close to 100%ing it. I have not fully 100%ed it. But
And then I've mentioned this to him before, but the way I play Fallout 4 is I pick out the outfit and guns I want to use, and then I go around playing dress up with the settlers. It's like, you guys are NCR Rangers. Over here, you're Russian guys. Over here, you're the Halo Wars Harvest Winter Marines. You know? I only do enough of the quest to get dog meat and go to Diamond City.
so basically, you're saying I'm the only one here that has actually played and beat Fallout 4.
More with the actual characters, yes.
Okay.
But I have I don't know, but I've got backseat gamer knowledge or whatever from watching videos and whatnot I've watched plenty of the Mike Burnfire series. Definitely getting into Fallout London is spectacular, though. And so is the Enclave Rising mod. Those are spectacular.
I've played the game, I just haven't done everything. I've only done 3 playthroughs, says Taz. Well, okay. I guess I'll just say, in my professional opinion, damn. I actually can't really put a tab on who I would say the best companion is, because to be honest, I mean, yeah, I could say it's kind of up to personal preference, but fuck it. Dog meat wins by default.
Yeah, he does.
I will go ahead and add on a little bit to this, because you mentioned dear old Preston Garvey again. I will say, as much hate as he does get, I can't entirely blame the character himself, because the reason why he's so damn annoying was because of a glitch in the game's code that just did not give the player character a break in giving settlements unless you actively ignore him, in which case he'll just, if you even bump into him, he'll give you the next quest.
there's mods for everything, so Bethesda won't do shit.
Well, sure, but like,
I think also if you had like some actual, I guess, writing to him instead of like the Radiant Quest guy.
well, the problem is, right, is he has like he has potential. Like there's a few bits in Fallout 4 where if you have him as a companion, he does actually have a few like bits of what's the word I'm looking for? Potential, I guess you could say. Like for instance, have you one of you at least done the first mission for the Brotherhood of Steel when you meet them at the Cambridge police station?
And you go clean out the simps at, what is it, Aerotech?
Yes,
Mass Fusion, whatever?
you go,
I've done that. Yeah.
you
And
know,
you get righteous authority.
yes. I've done all the Brotherhood of Steel stuff, I think. So, if you have Preston with you, when you get to the end of that quest and Paladin Dance offers to recruit you into the Brotherhood of Steel, Preston actually has unique dialogue he interjects. He basically says like I forget when exactly he reacts to it, but he basically like says you're not seriously planning on joining them, right? And I want to say you actually have a dialogue tree you can speak to Preston, which normally doesn't happen. Normally, the companions just make a comment and then you go back to talking to the NPC or the original NPC you were talking to.
Dance.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like in general in Fallout 4, like
Yeah.
they make a comment and then you just go back to talking. But in this one, Preston actually has a unique line of dialogue if you have him with them, and he's basically asking like you as the general, are you sure he basically does not trust the Brotherhood of Steel, and he's questioning you as the general if you really think you can really trust the Brotherhood of Steel. So I feel like there's like so much they could have done with Preston. Like they could have actually made him like, cuz he does seem to genuinely care. But he's so damn annoying.
Yeah. And on top of that, he needs a little fleshing out. I think there was I watched this was another great gaming video. It's like a 5 ways to improve the Minutemen. It was either to improve the story or improve the Minutemen. And somebody mentions, what if at the museum Preston was like severely wounded? Like to the point he was like gonna stay and hold them back and let the others escape, and then you show up, and that's why you have to go do 10 Pines Bluff instead of him, and that like really shakes him, and then you have to like build him back up because he's basically second in command of the Minutemen, so you got to build him back up.
Right. That would actually be a lot better character development
also
for
there
him.
needs to be, everybody loves comparing Fallout New Vegas and 4 together, but like you think how the factions are when it comes, say like I think the closest analogous faction to Minutemen is the NCR, right? There are many people named characters and whatnot, like not the regular grunt. There's Baird in McCarran. There's Ranger Jackson and Knight and Ghost. There's other people there to talk to. You don't talk solely to
One
the
guy in
top
command,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah. But and also when you have like more, and it's the same way with. It's not. That doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily the same for Yes Men House, but there's definitely other representatives, like underlings of Caesar.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk to, Volpes Incuta. As long as you don't do what I do every time I play New Vegas and save all the dynamite from the tutorial and then chuck it at him as soon as you get the Nipton because you want his hat.
I like usually. Usually, I make it to Nipton and beyond before doing Ghost Town Gunfight. I've like waited until I've completed Honest Hearts and had Boone and Eddie or Edie to do Ghost Town Gunfight one time. You know what's kind of stupid about Volpes? When I first met him, the first time I played New Vegas, I thought that was like a unique headset for him. And then it turns out out of every Tom, Dick, and Harry that gets sent in the assassination squad has one.
Has one, yeah.
So I was like, there's not a lot of foxes out in the Mojave Desert after 200 years of nuclear Armageddon.
Well, I think it's a coyote, actually.
Yeah. But
so.
I say Vulpes because I remember I read somewhere it's like Vulpes, or it's either Vulpes or in Colts that means fox.
Well, yeah, probably. I don't know. He's an asshole. I
Did you guys
blow him
get
up
the
with
video
dynamite.
I sent? I sent a video from a channel called Invicta, and they do a bunch of ancient and medieval history stuff. And they did a video on the Frumentarii from the actual Roman Empire.
I did not watch it yet, but excuse me.
It's like, I know how like Ed Sallow, the Kaiser, read history, so he probably did find a book talking about the Frumentarii. But it's like watching this is like that is actually kind of like what the Frumentarii do in New Vegas, because it was like they were intelligence gatherers. They were, weirdly enough, they had stuff to do with grain. They were like grain collectors or
Right.
something. But like back in like 100 AD, grain was basically the oil back then. It's like, gee, how do you feed 10,000? I think one legion has like, say a legion has 3,000 men. How do you feed 3,000 men before trucks or air power or refrigeration? You take up all the grain and you either send it out as is, or you send it out as flour, or you send it out as hardtack.
Grain.
Yeah. Do you want to know? A quick tangent. Do you want to know how fucking long hardtack has been around?
For a while, I'm guessing.
The Roman Empire and probably before, all the way to World War One, British soldiers. J.R.R. Tolkien got hardtack in his rations at the Battle of the Somme.
Wait, did you say hardtack?
Yeah, hardtack.
Oh my god, I'm so deaf. I thought you were saying heart attack. I'm like, well, I would assume, like...
Yeah. That stuff was there was like a proto version for U.S. soldiers in World War II. It wasn't like fully like super baked like regular hardtack is, but it was like a hardish bread in like sealed containers.
Right.
For everybody that's watching the podcast, if you're into food history at all, or you want to supplement your historical knowledge with other things, definitely look up Tasting History with Max Miller. He makes a dish from a part of history, and then he gives like a long history, either of the dish itself, something to do with the culture that dish comes from, or like a person or a place or whatever that the dish originates from. Like, top of my head, he's done Hardtack, where he talks about pirates a lot, and he started a meme on his own channel. Now, whenever he says hardtack, a clip plays of him holding up two pieces of done hardtack, and he clicks them together. So it's like hardtack, click, click.
Wonder if that pops up in GIFs.
He's done hardtack and pirates. He's done Roman rations. He did shit on a shingle. He's done medieval Egyptian hummus. He did ancient Egyptian bread. Yes, exactly. That's the guy. That's the clip I'm talking about.
I like how there's a crumb that falls on the first tap.
Yeah. You literally actually have to do that to eat hardtack, though. Because hardtack is not a misnomer. It is unedible in its regular form. Like, you have to do something to it. If you try to bite into a lunk of hardtack, say goodbye to your teeth.
Damn.
You have to, like, break it up with tools or your rifle butt, soak it in coffee or tea, ground it up, like, bash it up and put it into a kind of a stew. There's two recipes that he did of like how to make a stew with hardtack. One is called lobscouse. It's from the Royal Navy, and there's another called Hellfire Stew from the Civil War. And the Hellfire Stew is basically mashed up bricks of you like mash up your hardtack, soak it for a little bit, and then you cook it in your bacon fat. Because you were given, like... Because for a long time, a ration was a pound of meat and a pound of bread. In the Civil War, that was like a pound of hardtack for the day and a pound of salt pork or bacon. So you would fry up your salt pork or bacon, and then you would fry the mashed up bits of hardtack in the bacon grease to make it taste better. And then with lobscouse, you take your salted beef. Later in the period, you could add potatoes in there. It's basically water, salt beef, hardtack bits, potatoes and onion, and you stir it together.
Tasty.
So, yeah, you have to do stuff to it. But, like, again, in a time pre-refrigeration and, like, pre-airtight containers, if you wanted to keep your guys' main source of food from going bad, you had to just bake the crap out of it to make sure there's no moisture. There's, like, hardtack today from the Civil War that is, like, still edible. Put massive air quotes around edible.
The ultimate MRE.
That I think Steve MRE's 1980s guy ate.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a start of a plague.
Yeah, but if it's not moldy, it's still good.
In theory.
I mean, it's not flavor.
I mean, I've drank spoiled milk before.
You're a braver man than I.
It was not knowingly.
Understandable.
Wait.
I'm sorry for steamrolling you.
Oh
Do
no.
not drink it! Do
No, Taz, no. That's so. Oh.
not.
For
Oh, no.
context, Taz just said I have milk I haven't thrown out at 3 months. I can get a pic to show the
Oh,
podcast.
I need to go check the milk I have in my fridge.
Ugh.
I'll do that after the. I think everybody after this that's like listening to this is like, you're gonna have to go check the.
Yes. Ugh.
Oh, I'm pawing my eyes out thinking about
Brother,
that.
is that milk or is that Girardi in your fridge? Cow
Bro,
Girardi.
I thought it was cheese
Oh.
at that point.
Oh. Oh.
Actually, I think that's how we invented cheese. Somebody left milk out, and it like, because cheese is basically just fermented milk. But I think you fermented it wrong, my dude.
I don't think it fermented at all. I think that shit became a mutated creature in his
Oh,
fridge.
know what ingredient you need for cheese? And
Cow.
I have. This boggles me that how we ever figured this out. The stomach fat from a nursing calf. Get a calf that like out the cow. It hasn't started eating grass yet. You kill it or it dies, and you take the stomach out, and you take the stuff out. It's called like rennet or rennet, and then you put that in your milk, and that's how you make cheese. And it still boggles me how the fuck we ever figured that out.
I haven't heard about that.
I'm weird. I like stuff about animal domestication and historic foods.
I'm scared to look up how is cheese made now.
I think, in essence, they just like get they put rennet in it, which is like the stomach fat or stomach lining of the calf. Mix it up, and then you like fold it into bricks, and you just leave it out for a while.
Yeah,
until it's,
sure
like,
enough. Heating it up, adding an enzyme called rennet, adding good bacteria.
Oh, you can put like herbs and stuff in it to flavor it.
I'm assuming, because my favorite kind of cheese is pepper jack cheese.
I'm a Swiss guy myself.
I already
But
know
then again, I
Taz is
usually
American.
only- Yeah. Do you think he's? He hasn't said anything. Do you think he's like Ada?
I was about to say, I think he's losing the battle to the milk right now. I'll get a pic tomorrow. Bro, gotta go take a picture of it when it's asleep. He opens up the fridge and just... It's like the xenomorph, it's just... That...
You have a gas mask in your house. I feel like you would have one. I would suggest wearing it.
Do not let your gut
Here's
have that
one
milk.
thing I cannot believe that humans ever figured out. How the fuck did we ever figure out making linen from flax? Flax is a type of plant. It's almost the same kind of thing as cotton. You like process it to make a fiber. It's like cotton. It kind of seems explanatory. It's like some guy picked up a piece of wild cotton. Hey, this is like animal hair. I bet we can make clothes out of this. I'm like, I need to look up a picture of flax to see what it looks like. We were shown flax when it looks like it's like flowers and like it looks like a mix. The seeds look like a mix between like a pinto bean and a sunflower seed. How did we figure out making? It looks like a flowering grass. How did we ever figure out fiber from that?
I don't know. And Google is not. What the? Why?
Chaz has now uploaded a guy and his launch pouring milk over himself.
Why is the milk still going?
Chaz, if you do that to yourself, it's not gonna come out a liquid. It's just gonna like. You ever seen like a horror movie with like a blob? Like a slow blob creature? That's what it's gonna look like coming out of the carton. Solid. You need to take it to a shooting range.
No, that thing just needs to go right into a disintegrator. The moment a bullet hits that thing, it's rather A, gonna ricochet, or B, be absorbed.
So I think that's just gonna be like instant biological warfare against everyone nearby.
Bro might actually be considered, or bro might actually be doing a war crime.
Domestic terrorism if you take that to an indoor range.
It might just be bad if you take it out at all. That's like Pandora's box you got sitting in your fridge right now. Ugh. I can't even imagine the smell.
Chaz made cheese. She's gonna. Have you seen the picture? Have you seen the videos where people like wrap rubber bands around the milk jugs? I think that's what's gonna happen, but it's gonna go out instead of up.
It's just gonna dissolve. And just.
It's gonna be like. It's gonna be like when you touch a skin.
What?
I said I wanted a liter of Coke and I got it.
Why? Why is it so smooth?
Because it literally filled it as much as he could.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's good. Dude, if you like look at it wrong, it's gonna go off like a bottle rocket and hit you in the nuts. You have to put these like over the screen on the podcast when you edit this.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of which, since it would appear that we've We've gone completely.
CMD, Coke Master. No. What should be like SMD or DMD, soda or drink of mass destruction.
Drink of mass destruction. Oh my god. We are at the 43 minutes and we still have like
Only 43 minutes?
we still have a plus 20 minutes from the first recording.
That's. Can we get like a. We did do the intro. He's probably just gonna splice this onto the 20 minute.
I was gonna say, we're still recording right now.
Yeah. Let's try one more topic for easy 15 minutes.
Okay. Better pick a good one, because I'm gonna be honest, these last topics were like... The first one was, yeah, tanks are weird in video games. The second one was, oh, Tojik's the only one that played Fallout 4.
Yeah, how did we go from Fallout 4 to facing history?
We somehow went from Fallout 4 to somehow adding New Vegas. You started talking about the Legion, and now we're looking at Smooth Coke.
Fucking chassis cheese from the Black
And the
Lagoon.
cheese.
Okay, we just 22 and 23 was a short one.
What is it? What's 22? What are we looking at here?
We did 22. That's
Oh,
the
we
best
did
Fallout
22. Taz wanted to do 14, which was last ditch weapons.
Okay, that works. Oh, and there's the fucking deer hint.
Up to you. You can end it on either of those two.
Let's do 14 and get it out of the way.
Okay. So,
Context, I put that topic down. I was in like a mood about last ditch weapons. It was like watching a bunch of forgotten weapons videos where he talked about how to make a last ditch like AR platform weapon. And I watched his video. You know, he did a video. Somebody created a Chinese assault rifle from Fallout 3 with a Type 56 Chinese AK. And he was talking about that, and he was talking about how the proportions were weird. Because it was for context, if anybody's ever like watched the firearms expert reacts to Fallout 3 guns, and he's like, that's just a RPD handle on there. Basically, according to the lore, this is all according to Gun Jesus. They basically like beefed up this poor innocent Type 56 AK to make it a better bayonet fighting weapon, because with the resource wars, things were starting to go to shit, and we couldn't make enough ammo, or they couldn't make enough ammo.
Oh.
We were so shit. We were putting G3s into service. Like, I mean, there was like apparently enough M16A1s and M1 Garands on the West Coast for those to be in New Vegas, but in Fallout 3, it's just the regular assault rifle is just a straight up G3, isn't it, Taz?
what the hell? It's like a weird hybrid one.
Oh, you deafened yourself. I was talking about the Chinese assault rifle from Fallout 3 and how it's
Oh,
a beefed up AK with an RPD on it. RBT. Blah, 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 blah. She sells seashells by the seashore. With an RPD handle on it. And it was beefed up to be a bayonet fighter. To like be better at fighting with a bayonet. Since ammo was kind of slow for the Chinese guys in Alaska.
yeah.
Even and it's like, yeah, things were going to shit because we had G3s in service. Because the American assault rifle, alongside the laser rifle, was the G3. At least on the East Coast, there's like you can't take a piss without tripping on a M16 or an M1 Garand in Mojave Wasteland. I'm not even gonna talk about Fallout 1 and 2 because it looks like the developers for Fallout 1 and 2 just saw whatever cool gun was on the front page of that week's edition of a gun magazine and just put it in there.
You know, it's funny you say that, because you might not be wrong, because guess what one of the guns is in Fallout 1 and 2 are?
Off the top of my head, Bren gun, Sten gun, FAL, G3 of all things. Weird American civilian version of an AK.
I'm not sure, but the one I'm thinking of is the most favorite gun by one of our favorite YouTubers that we all three watch. The gun that Zach Hazard loves the most, 100%. Everyone's favorite, the Pancor Jackhammer.
I almost popped an ear trip, Jesus Christ. That was not where
I know.
I was gonna say, oh, it's the G11. I meant to say G11 when I said G3. I was like, oh, it's the P90 probably. No.
Nope.
Hey, come on!
I was being a smartass. It's not his favorite. He hates that gun.
I know. Or as Mike likes to call it, the Pancor Jackhammer.
Jackhammer. And honestly, I don't think you're wrong, because as Zach Hazard also explained it. Ah, there it is. What the fuck you are seeing? Like, I was it. The Pancor Jackhammer's canonically in Fallout. It doesn't have its weird ass Borderlands gun mechanic of the magazine's a landmine, but
I could be wrong. If I remember correct, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure the shotgun shells are supposed to be the landmine. But whose fucking bright idea was it? Here, soldier, here's your new gun. There is a 10-pound chunk of explosive under your shoulder, right next to your face. Which also violated international law.
But I mean, hey, who's paying it? I don't know the full reason why that gun never left prototype, but I have a feeling someone down at Mr. Gun Inspection Program was like, oh, that's an interesting shotgun you got here. Oh, what's that do? Oh, that's a landmine. And they're just like, what?
Oh, so it looks like a... You know, it looks oddly similar to the XM23 grenade launcher, but shittier. It's like, are those two guys in fucking cahoots?
Maybe.
You know what I'm disappointed about is that the XM8, the rifle, the underbarrel rifle for the XM23 that became its own rifle, didn't become a thing.
Huh.
Yeah, I think we should probably like do an outro now and then
Yeah,
continue
we keep getting off topic.
recording another part of and then we like say the outro, wait a bit so there's enough space to edit, or like cut it out, and then we record episode 4. Because I do not want to stop.
Alright, let's go ahead and send this one off.
Alright.
Well,
Thank you everybody for watching this.
thank you, and
Don't
apologies if
lie.
it's hard not to keep track on what the theme of this episode is, because we don't know either.
We'll just say tank. We'll just call it tanks, dogs, and food.
Tanks, dogs, and milk.
Weaponized milk.
Weaponized
don't
milk. Almost as weaponized as the Pancord jackhammer.
No, it's more weaponized.
It's actually lethal.
Fucking water.
Alright, thank you all for tuning in. And,
Again, like last time, put comments down. We'll talk about them in episode 5 whenever we record that.
and we'll catch you all in the next session.
Goodbye.